Hey guys, it's Joey. I'm here with Harold. We're going to review the last two episodes of Doctor Who this season.
I'd like to do the entire season, actually. Can we do the entire season?
We want to do an entire season evaluation?
Not like a very quick one. Not like I'm kind of like, for instance, what are you upset with that didn't happen this season?
Honestly, I know they were trying to make it more accessible to a new audience yet again, but I really wish there was a lot more intertwining with previous Doctors, at least the storylines with that, because I feel like Capaldi is he's so rooted in so much
mythos.
There should have been more of that mythology in there. So that's what I wanted to see more. Some more Doctor Who in there.
Some more Doctor Who in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
That's good. I really, really wanted to see another Neil Gaiman episode, and we didn't get one this year, so I am very upset that we didn't get a Neil Gaiman episode. I love how Neil Gaiman looks at the Doctor, and because, like, with the Doctor's wife and with Sounds and So, the Curse of Silver? What was his Cyberman episode? Either way, I love how he looks at the Doctor as this giant spanning thing, because he gives us what Stephen Moffat gives us, but in a little bit more concrete blocks than Stephen Moffat usually gives us. I mean, Moffat gave that to us with just insert the name of the thing here. In that episode, we really did see Stephen Moffat using all of his Doctor Who knowledge at once and kind of broadening over the entire spectrum of Doctor Who. I mean, you had, which many people have already talked about this, you had Capaldi. You had Capaldi doing Fourth Doctor lines. You had them going back to pre-Time War Gallifrey. And even before that, you had them going back to, like, pre-Doctor Gallifrey, which is awesome.
Some people were pissed off about that. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Some people want to be purists, and they don't want anybody to touch anything before, like, the classic, the New Who, but...
No, but when
it's the same show.
It has to be utilized. You have to understand. You have to understand this, because you're the person that we're talking to right now. No. Like, I feel like people have to understand that this is an overarching show. And by being that, that's why I love when Neil Gaiman does anything, because he usually brings in little tidbits of stuff that could be from prior knowledge into it. Also, what I'm very annoyed about, because we could have done this, because it was a new Doctor, and we were trying to situate people into what we've seen, I think because Torchwood has not been around for a few years now, since it moved to the stars, we could have seen Captain Jack, but only as only to show exactly the difference between Capaldi and Tennant. Because there's going to be a lot of references to Capaldi and Tennant being a very similar Doctor, even though, if anything, he's more like Tom Baker, which is the point of everything.
I don't want to say anything too soon, but I love this season, and I absolutely adore Capaldi as the Doctor. He is... Since I've been watching Doctor Who, which has been over a year already, maybe 2. So getting back to Darkwater and Death in Heaven, so much happened. So much Danny Pink sadness, because I did not expect that to happen. And I was starting to get, like, really used to Danny Pink, and there was a lot of rumors in the beginning of the season that he was going to be, like, the new companion, and it was going to be super cool, another guy in the TARDIS, but...
Nope.
That did not happen.
And then
he was in the TARDIS.
And then there was he was going to like, Claire was going to leave at the 50th. Claire was going to leave at the Christmas special and go and marry Danny. And now I think it's still possible.
And they alluded to that because of showing his grandson, but they never...
Exactly. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. I think that Nick, and if you have not seen this last episode, if you've not seen Death in Heaven, or you shut off Death in Heaven the moment that the Doctor sat down, the credits scrolled, you are an idiot. But I think Nicholas Frost standing outside, knocking on the door, saying, "This can't end like this. You're not happy. She's not happy. You know what? I'm just coming in. What do you want for Christmas?" Like, that entire scene kind of... It did give the option or the familiarity where we could have Santa Claus coming back and saying, "I'm Santa. I can rip someone out of death. That's fine."
Yeah.
Out of heaven, which we did get in actual heaven. We got, like, the concept of that there is some sort of afterworldly thing.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And it's like, not even like, it's... I had this idea of heaven, and I'm glad that they showed it. It's sort of like, almost like it's like almost another dimension.
Yeah.
Rather than just being like this cloudy atmosphere. It's just... somewhere
something
else.
there. Yeah.
And the fact that he was able to transport the young boy...
It was only good for one trip. So, and of course he gets his redemption because when we were all sitting there thinking like, what did Danny Pink kill? He couldn't tell the kid. If that guy killed the kid, he's got nothing left. No one gives a shit about this guy. He killed the kid. He killed the kid!
Yeah.
And then he brought the kid back to life.
I mean, that probably saved him and sent him to heaven.
Depends. Kind of. He was already in heaven because he sacrificed himself and everyone else.
But I don't think that's
Point
the
out
last...
everyone else as well.
I mean, I don't think that's the last we're going to see of Danny Pink.
No.
And it's definitely not the last we're going to see
of
Clara.
I think it might be the last time we see of Danny Pink. I think Danny Pink is gone.
You don't think that...
I think that Santa could bring him back, but I think they're done.
I'm almost positive that Jenna isn't leaving yet. If she is, she's leaving in the Christmas special. But there hasn't been any confirmation whatsoever. They wanted to leave it as open-ended as possible.
There was a ton of confirmation.
No.
No?
I looked it up yesterday. I thought it was like confirmed, but there's statements from Jenna and Steven and I think Capaldi saying that they weren't going to tell you whether she was leaving or not either way because it would give up the plot. Like if she's leaving, we'd know that we'd wait for something to happen where she is either killed or she decides to leave.
Well,
and they wanted you to think that she was leaving in this last episode.
I want to talk about Clara for 1 second. With what she said about the doctor during Death in Heaven, we have her going to the Cybermen and trying to explain to them that she is the doctor, right? You have that entire thing. And for a moment, I almost believed her. Like, I honestly almost believed, holy crap, that's what happened. That she's a regeneration from the future and she came back and that's the reason why she's able to save him. Completely could have believed that.
Oh no, I knew she was playing the whole time.
It was all that she said. But let's talk about what she said. Do you remember what she said? He's been married 4 times, everyone's probably dead, and all of his children are lost or gone. Children and grandchildren are lost and gone. So...
And does she know his name?
Yes, apparently. Apparently she actually does know his name. Or was that a bluff? That's the question. I mean, there was a moment where, like, she did see his name, and then, like, that was a parallel pocket universe, and she forgets his name, and... Or at least we think that she forgets his name. She could be like Amy Pond and just remember fucking everything, and no one questions that at all.
Did Amy didn't know his name?
No.
These last 2 episodes were very interesting. There should have been more, but with the time they had,
the punches fell flat though.
Yeah.
Like Missy's explanation of who she was, well, the master bit felt good. The prelude of what all the stuff she caused fell flat. Entirely.
There needed to be more explanation to how the hell she even got to that point. It's basically, hi, I'm the master. See you later.
How could she have possibly done this? If she has a TARDIS, she could have gone back. Which means, hold on, time out. In the event that they have just killed the master, and the master used the TARDIS to get to where we are, that means there's a fucking TARDIS just lying around. In the streets of London.
Oh, probably. Maybe.
Yes. That's what that means. It means if she came back using a TARDIS, then it's just lying about. If she used the bracelet thing, that's different entirely, and she just did that. But in the event that it's not really a vortex manipulator, just a bracelet.
Completely different.
But in the event that she didn't use the bracelet and she used the TARDIS to go back in time and set up this like feeling and thought of the afterlife and not burning up a corpse. From the beginning of time, pretty much, from the ancient Egyptians even, from
that's sort of
before
what's
that.
Insinuated.
That's completely what's insinuated. So if she did that, then she needed a TARDIS. In the event she had a TARDIS, where the hell was the frickin' TARDIS?
That's the question. That also goes back to whether she was lying about finding Gallifrey or not. Which you want to think she is, but is she really?
I don't think she is.
I don't think so either.
I think it's still stuck in like an alt. Remember, like the bees? Anyone? As soon as I said the bees, someone's probably about. If you think about the bees, it could be that universe that the TARDIS is in, that Gallifrey is in the constellation of Kasparos, is just 2 seconds ahead of where we are. That could be it. I mean, we've explained in Doctor Who how pocket universes can be created by just being a second off. In the event it's 2 seconds off, guess what? There it is. We just have to like.
But I think it might actually be there, and the Doctor's not realizing this sort of obvious thing in physics about perception.
See,
you'd think he'd see it because he is a Time Lord, but maybe not. But then if the Master did find Gallifrey,
fine. She was there. She was there at that point. They were there.
But because of what happened in the end of time?
No, now that's the thing of the retcon. The question of whether or not it was retconned.
That's the question I want. That's the answer I want to know.
Yes.
There's so many questions.
So many things.